Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA Daily Analysis. So NVIDIA continued the upward movement today as well, and that's a very positive sign. In this video, we'll discuss NVIDIA stock price movement for today and try to make an assessment for tomorrow and early next week using technical charts, fundamentals, and data analysis. And we'll also talk about the impact of economic data on NVIDIA and overall market for next week. Now, let's get started. Starting with the daily summary, NVIDIA opened at 116.84. It made a high 120.79. It made a low 115.38 and it closed at 119.14. That is 1.92% up. There is some volatility on Nvidia stock today as well, but it's not very visible because of this big downside after hours. But if you take a look at this chart very closely, you will find the volatility. For example, after opening, Nvidia went up to 118 and then went down to 116, then again went up to 119 and then went down to, and sometime it was 117 as well somewhere. But the good thing is, it did not go below 115 today. And that was my support level based on the Fibonacci levels as I showed you yesterday. And altogether, it was not only a good day for Nvidia only, the overall market was up today as well. Let's take a look at S&P. So you can see S&P was also 0.75% up. Let's take a look Nasdaq. So Nasdaq was up about 1% and Dow Jones was up about 0.58%. Do you think the yesterday debate between Trump and Kamala Harris has some impact on the overall market today? Please write in the comment section what do you guys think. In last 5 days, Nvidia is still up about 10.24%, and last 1 month about 9.28%, and last 6 months 29.63% up, and year to date is about 147%. So 147% return in just 9 months. That's crazy. But Nvidia still has more potential to go further up. So 147% increase is not enough for Nvidia. Now let's take a look at forward P for Nvidia. Nvidia forward P at this point is at 37.92, much higher than the last week closing. And the forward P for Nvidia continues to go up, and still there is some room for Nvidia to go further up. I'm guessing about 40 forward P is more stable for Nvidia, and that would translate it to about 125 price for Nvidia, equivalent to 40 forward PE. Palantir 102.68. Palantir had a very good time this week. SMCI 13.91. SMCI was slightly down today, but I think SMCI has some potential to go further up before the actual split happens next month. So I'm seeing SMCI to go above 500 in next 2-3 weeks. AMD forward P is 39.16, so it also continues to go up since early this week. It's a good sign for AMD. Now let's take a look the price change analysis or the data analysis for Nvidia for this quarter. So after the last earning, Nvidia is about 2.31% up on the cumulative percentage change basis. So that tells that Nvidia has more room to go further up before the next earnings. At least another 10% in my opinion. Now let's take a look technical charts for Nvidia and try to make some assessment for next week. You see 180-day hourly interval chart for Nvidia and also Fibonacci levels. So based on the Fibonacci levels, next level of resistance is at 125.25. Nvidia at this point is trading around 119. So basically it's between 115 level and 125 level. So probably in next few days I'm guessing Nvidia would be moving between 115 and 125. But 125 in my opinion is a strong resistance level. It might take more effort for Nvidia to break this level. But if Nvidia breaks this level, then Nvidia would get more acceleration to go further up. And I am saying it again. If something happens, if Nvidia goes down to around 108, then probably it would make Nvidia another good buy point. But chances of Nvidia going above 125 is higher than Nvidia going below 108. And I'm happy that I did not sell my Nvidia stock. I'm still holding it. And I bought Nvidia shares around 120 and 126. And when Nvidia was down to 102 and 103, I saw many analysts talking about Nvidia going to 80. Some were saying going to 70. And those analysis did not make any sense to me. So I did not go panic and I kept holding it. And at that time, my suggestions to you guys were the same. If you go back and take a look, I had the opinion that around 100 would have been a very good buy for Nvidia and keep it for some time. So my suggestions to you would be stay away from those analysts because they have some agenda behind their analysis. So moving on, let's take a look MACD chart. So you can notice MACD line is still above zero line as we expected yesterday, and I made a comment yesterday that at this point it looks like Nvidia still have a strong momentum. And I was expecting today some kind of volatility on Nvidia stock, but it's a good thing that Nvidia did not go down. We have seen some volatility early this morning, as I showed you in this video in the beginning, but later it got the momentum again. So that's a good sign for Nvidia, and I hope it can carry the same momentum tomorrow and Monday as well. But at the same time, I think some little correction is due, probably about 2 or 3%, because in last 3-4 days, Nvidia going up without any correction or without any dip. So about 10 or 11% in just 3-4 days. Now let's take a look at some news regarding Nvidia. Starting with the top one that says Nvidia still has legs and room to run, says Bernstein's Stacy Rasgon. Probably they're right, as we notice in the technical chart and also in my data analysis, that Nvidia still has more potential to go further up before next earnings. So now this one that says Nvidia shares are trading higher following CEO Jensen Huang's recent comments on chip demand. We talked about yesterday that Jensen Huang was very positive on the future outlook of the chip demand and the consumption. But only thing we need to be watchful is if Nvidia can be able to launch its products on time. If we see further delay on the product launches, then you might experience some slowdown or drop on Nvidia about another 10%. Now let's take a look this one that says live on CNBC reporters catch up to Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang after Whitehall meeting. Says I trust that Biden admin is going to make great decisions. Looks like Mr. Huang is still positive and hopeful with Biden administration's decisions. So another good one for Nvidia that says The supply chain for NVIDIA's AI processors continues to develop and expand despite the recent negative news. So that's a good thing. So far, we haven't heard any supply chain issues for NVIDIA processors in last few days or weeks. So let's hope things are going in the right direction. So after Mr. Jensen Huang made a positive speech yesterday, that helped TSMC stock as well. So TSMC stock rises after Nvidia CEO praises the chipmaker. Why the AI boom is not done. Another analysis, and that's good for Nvidia, that says Nvidia's stock set to extend gains. The time to worry is clearly not now. So today I did not see anything negative about Nvidia. So all positive news and analysis for Nvidia. So that's a good sign. Now let's take a look at other AI stocks. So almost all the AI stocks or the tech stocks are positive in my watch list with the exception of SMCI that's negative about 0.73% today. The highest positive change is on Avago or Broadcom that is 3.97% up. Now let's take a look economic calendar for tomorrow and next week. So tomorrow no major data is coming. Maybe customer sentiment tomorrow. That data somewhat important but not much. Next week Monday nothing much. Tuesday nothing much. On Wednesday we have FOMC meeting and the rate cut decision and Mr. Paul conference as well. So that's important. So we're gonna see if they do 25 basis point reduction or they do 50 basis point. My expectation is probably they would announce 25 basis point. So that's all about Nvidia analysis and assessment for tomorrow and early next week. So nothing to worry at this point for Nvidia. It looks like Nvidia got the momentum and it should maintain next week as well. There can be some small dip in next few days, but that won't be an indication that the downtrend on Nvidia has started. So stay positive on Nvidia. I hope you like the video. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more tomorrow. Take care.